Hello, good morning. It's a Tuesday and welcome. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. The nagging Igbo presidency question. Now, 57 years on, and the Igbo presidency question remains on the front burner of national discourse. It is no more the issue of propriety as it is of a general consensus amongst Igbo elite. When Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu returned home from exile in June 1982, his battle cry was to return Ndi Igbo to the mainstream of Nigerian politics. He passed on November 26, 2011, with the Igbo question largely unanswered. Today, an Igbo presidency question is a nagging one, and more so in 2019. How much of the narrative do you understand? We have two gentlemen here. They understand the story much more than I do. My own is just to prompt them. Let me introduce Bright Ezeocha. He's a businessman and chairman Igbo Youth Congress nationally.
Yes.
He is also an activist. I greet you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tochukwu Ezukama, another proud Igbo son, is a writer, a critic, and public affairs analyst. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones.
Bright, 57 years after independence, the Igbo presidency question is still nagging. Are you surprised?
I'm not that surprised, coming in for the fact that there's so much disunity in the country. No one single tribe in Nigeria will boast of to have the presidency except if there's a collaboration from other ethnic tribes. I remember in 1999 when we returned to democracy, Nigeria witnessed in the first time two Southwesterners contesting for a president, was allowed, consensually, was allowed to run for presidency, Olufara and Olusegun Obasanjo, and Obasanjo emerges. After Olusegun Obasanjo, there was this bickering between whether the thing should go to the southeast or it should go to the north. And the people were shouting, the South have had their turn, it should go to the north. And then it went to the north. Believe that if it's coming back again, it will be.
We are talking about a party now.
Yes, I not want to take it from the genesis, because we can't talk about Igbo presidency without bringing the Nigerian interest into it.
Into the mix, yeah.
Whether you like it or not, an Igbo man cannot be president, except there's a consensus among other ethnic groups that to allow the Igbo to at least
have a shot
that position. Of course, if possible, to use it to unite the country. And unfortunately, we don't have leaders that are thinking in this direction. In 2019, today, all the major parties they are busy zoning the presidency to the north. And then that lies the question, where is the Igbo interest
in all
of this?
Ezukama, the question, this topic was provoked by the statement credited to a former President General of Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, yes. Dr. Ike Dife. He said Ndi Igbo should forget the presidency in 2019. This is coming from the fact that ABGA determined that Obiano should be flown as a candidate for 2019.
Well, I don't think the Igbos should forget the presidency in 2019, or that any ethnic group or any individual should forget the presidency at any point in time. Every Nigerian, according to the Constitution, can vote and can also be voted for. So if SZF chooses to run in 2019, that would be his...
Governor
Obiano, I'm sorry, chooses to run in 2019. That's a personal choice made in line with his political party. So to tell people to forget running, that's wrong. You run, and if the people will elect you, then you're the governor, and, or the president, rather. Let me make a point as from what he said. He said one thing I detest about Ndibu and their involvement in politics is the feeling of victimhood. Okay? If they will be allowed, as though we are public wards, as though we are helpless, unless others decide to give it to us, we cannot have it. Obasanjo and Falaya ran in 1999 because the Yorubas made a point. We have won this presidency as expressed in the Abiola's victory. And if you don't give it to us, there will not be peace. Nobody can ever dash you power. You struggle for power. They struggle for power and they got it. The Igbos will get power if they struggle for it. But that demands a change of attitude, a change of mindset. We are victims. We need to be helped. If they choose to, no, nobody will choose to give you power. You grab it, you earn it, you take it.
Right?
Yeah, I quite agree with him. There has always been a threat. But is it justifiable?
What threat?
A threat that if you don't give us this presidency, there will be no peace. It happens in Abiola, in Olusegun Obasanjo era. It also happened when the before power returned to North, to Yaradua. People threatening the sovereignty of the nation. Today, also, if we talk about threats, the IPOB also are also threatening that if you don't give us if you don't give us our republic, and which indirectly means if you don't give us this presidency, we are not.
No, you are saying two things in one.
I want to tell you, I'm saying the same thing. If you don't give us Republic of Biafra, which indirectly means that if you do not give us the presidency, that means if you don't bring us to the streamline that we are going out of the Nigeria, it's a threat. But that is not, it shouldn't be in that form. The best for presidency of Nigeria should not always be based on threats.
Are you quarreling with the style adopted by IPOB?
I don't agree with their style, because I believe that today in the Igbo Youth Congress, what we are championing every day is for the Igbo interest. But that Igbo interest must not be anchored on a threat of secession. Because I believe that, like the Southwest, the OPC, the part the OPC played before the 1999 election, is also a threat that we won this thing and we have been denying this, and you can now give it to us, there's going to be trouble.
So at that point, there was a consensus.
There was a consensus.
It is this consensus we are
talking
about in the Southeast.
Yeah, that consensus I'm also talking about here, that after 57 years, the Nigerian state should be able to sit down. The leadership of this nation should be able to sit down and say, and think it wise, that it is high time that they are allowed on the Igbo.
Your colleague is quarreling with the word allowed.
Yes, he may not agree with it, but I don't want to use the word threat, because if everybody from the South is
the question is
you fight for power, you are not giving power.
You're not giving power. The
yes,
question is
we fight for power. Yeah. Mind you, no matter how much you fight, let me bring, there's two things that are involved in the issue of Nigeria presidency. It has to do with not just money. It also have to do with collaboration from other ethnic
There's so
groups.
much money in Southeast Nigeria.
No, you can't talk about the kind of money that is required. Okay. I was listening to, I read this guy interview, barrister, this son from Onitsha, I've forgotten his name. Abakoba. He was telling somebody, if you want me to run for presidency, give me the money. Because it involves billions of naira.
But then you must reach out. Are you reaching out? Please remember that Dim Emeka Odumego Ojukwu, bless his soul, extended a hand of fellowship across the Niger. That hand was not shaken, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I do. You see, one thing is for you to extend your hands of friendship. And the other one is for people that you are extending to accept your hand of friendship.
Toshuk?
The hand of friendship. Yeah, it takes two to tangle, as they say. So you extend your hand of friendship. The other one person, your partner might not choose to shake your hands. But why do they keep shaking other people's hands and not the Igbo's hands? Buhari came to power not because there was a decision to say, let's allow him, he's been a nice guy. Abiola won the elections not because there was a national decision, universal decision. Let's allow him, he's a nice guy. So the Igbo man has to labor for it, find out what it takes, what are others doing to get it, and you do the same thing and get it. Apart from this, there's nothing else to be said.
Right. Many political parties appear to be regional, if you understand what I mean.
Yes, I do.
APGA is controlling just one state out of 5 in the southeast.
Yes.
Is that healthy enough?
It is not.
Okay.
I remember we all witnessed to what had been happening in the southeast. APGA not only claimed was victorious in Anambra, but also was in Imo State. But the man that was elected defected to APC, and we also
don't you think he was pushed?
No, I don't think he was pushed. You see, there is the problem we are having in the South is our leaders not being sincere. While he was there, he had his own personal agenda. It is not about, even twice we have elected Ike Hakim. When he was even elected under PPA, a lot of people were thinking that he was going to cross over to APGA. But unfortunately, he returned to PDP. So we have always had this desire to have our own identify with our own political party. But unfortunately, those that are putting themselves forward for election, at the end of the day, have a different thing in the back of their mind. Once they are elected, they move to wherever they want to. They feel comfortable with.
Let me take Maxwell. Maxwell is reaching us from Ghana. Yeah.
Yes, please. Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to the two gentlemen there.
He greets you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I have a problem with this calling of Igbo president. You see,
presidency.
I am of Igbo extraction as well, and when you look at what happened, the Igbos are not united. They have never been united since after the war. Instead of the Igbos to fight for their original position in the Nigerian state, they were fighting for their own pockets at the federal level. The 3 hours after the war, did they ask the government to implement it? I heard of the 3 hours when the Northeast Development Agenda was put to the Parliament. How can such group of people be, clamoring for presidency? And with the Nigerian system and the setup right now, politics is a game of number. If you don't have the numbers, you cannot. As I am talking to you now, the Igbos are not united.
Okay, that's the punchline. That's the punchline.
But the question is, who is united? Are the Yorubas united? Are the Hausas united?
But
People have consensus, not unity. The Abiola strain and Obasanjo strain of politics was not the same, or is not the same with Awolowo, Jakonde, Ebola Ige kind of politics. The Yorubas voted against Obasanjo in 1999. Is that an expression of unity? The Yorubas have a consensus. The Hausas don't always agree, but they have a consensus. The Igbos don't agree, but they lack consensus.
Where's the problem?
The problem is Biafranism and Ojukwu. Before, we were talking about local political parties. We had one, NCNC. It did so well at the national level. So when the quality of Igbo leaders fell, it started affecting every facet of Igbo life. Our consensus, our politics, our everything. And so the thing is that after the January 1966 coup, the quality of Igbo leaders fell. Ironsi and Ojukwu. So that's what we are suffering. One writer said that the history of a nation is but the biographies of leaders. So you talk about leaders, write about them, you write about the people they lead.
Yeah,
so,
okay. Let me take a call from Ilorin, Kwara State just now, and I'll say good morning to Dio. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. I just want to contribute to the present discourse that is going on.
Go on.
You said the question of the Igbo presidency is that the Igbo people, they are not helping themselves. You understand? Because one, Maxwell said they were not united. That is one. That one is aside. But the second one is, look at what Nnamdi Kanu was doing. Okay, you want secession by abusing other tribes.
Expression of unity. The Yorubas have a consensus. The Hausas don't always agree, but they have a consensus. The Igbos don't agree, but they lack consensus.
Where's the problem?
The problem is Biafranism and Ojukwu. Before, you were talking about local political parties. We had one, NCNC. It did so well at the national level. So when the quality of Igbo leaders fell, it started affecting every facet of Igbo life. Our consensus, our politics, our everything. And so the thing is that after the January 1966 coup, the quality of Igbo leaders fell. Ironsi and Ojukwu. So that's what we are suffering. One writer said that the history of a nation is but the biographies of leaders. So you talk about leaders, write about them, you write about the people they lead.
Yeah,
so,
okay. Let me take a call from Ilorin, Kwara State just now, and I'll say good morning to Dio. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. I just want to contribute to the present discourse that is going on.
Go on.
See, yeah, you said the question of the Igbo presidency is that the Igbo people, they are not helping themselves. You understand? Because one, Maxwell said they were not united. That is one. That one is aside. But the second one is, look at what Nnamdi Kanu was doing. Okay, you want secession by abusing other tribes, creating a kind of destruction in the country. Okay, and at the end of the day, are you creating friends or you are creating enemies, all in the name of secession? And you are not coming back again and you want to be president of Nigeria, a country that is a zoo. And we have elders in the Igbo land, they saw all this stupidity going on, they couldn't do anything about it. It's so sad. The Igbo should apply wisdom and strategy in the Nigerian politics.
All right, many thanks. Bright and Tochukwu, that's an Mbati man in a manner of speaking, a Yoruba man, advising you. Take the advice, we'll come back. Let's go on this break. The Igbo presidency question. How much of the narrative do you understand? We'll come back shortly. All right, then, welcome back. And Igbo presidency is still on the front burner. As you may agree by now, it goes beyond a propriety. That's the correctness of having an Igbo at the helm. But question, is Ndi Igbo united? Somebody called before the break for unity amongst Ndi Igbo. Bright, 47 years after the war, the Awolowo legacy is on in the Southwest. Not so Zeke's legacy in the Southeast. Aren't you appalled by this?
The question is, what did Zeke live and died for? Did Zeke live for Ndi Igbo and die for Ndi Igbo, just like Awolowo did for the Southwest? Awolowo left behind a lot of a visible legacy, the free education. Name it. But Zeke was busy thinking of one Nigeria. Zeke was busy.
You think that business was unhealthy?
No. You see, strategy must begin at home.
Okay.
In as much as Awolowo was thinking about the welfare of his people, he's also bringing into the broader perspective of the welfare of Nigerians. But you must start from your home. That's why they say charity begins at home. But rather, Zeke begins his own from Nigeria to Africa. I'm talking about Zeke of Africa. And how many Igbo benefited from Zeke's legacy during his days? I'm telling you, today, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu is more acceptable to Ndi Igbo than that of the Zeke.
No, let's break it down. Do you say Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu is a more acceptable leader than Zeke was?
In fact, I'm telling you, with the name of Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, you can rally around Ndi Igbo. You can bring Ndi Igbo to a round table. But with the name Zeke,
Abga,
you cannot.
which he midwifed, is not acceptable.
No, it is. Abga is completely acceptable in the Southeast. Because if not because of these political leaders who did not have interest of Igbo at hand.
You are missing the point here.
No, I'm not missing the point. I'm not missing the point. The Imo State have elected an Apuga leader, an Apuga governor, which they come to this thing. And when you look at it too, in Abia State, the what is his name again?
Oji
Okalo. No, not Oji Okalo. Oti. Okay. Were almost, if not, that the incumbents. I don't want to use the word. What happened?
Okay.
But then I'm telling you, if there should be election today in the entire Southeast, if it's free and fair, Apuga will win all the entire Southeast.
Still puts a question mark on the
because of that name, Ojuku, that is affiliated with Apuga.
Zik talked about one Nigeria, but you have to realize one thing. The earlier Igbo leaders realized that one Nigeria was most beneficial to the Igbos. Yeah. Here you have a people who live where the population density is 3 times that of Yoruba land, with large tracts of infertile land, and people who have this bubbling, effervescent, entrepreneurial spirit. Their industriousness will bubble beyond the confines of their region. So one Nigeria allows them to go to the ends of Nigeria and succeed.
We'll come back there. From Jos Plateau State, we have Obinna. Welcome, Obinna.
Good morning.
Yeah. Please wake up. Wake up.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah. Good morning to you.
Yes. I want to contribute to
we are doing so. Go on.
the topic this morning. We, in this country, we have to keep away selfishness. I have this country in mind. Igbo are equally indigenous citizens of Nigeria. I don't buy the idea that they are not united. Igbo are united, but there are some selfish individuals that are just clamoring for their pocket. That is why things are going wrong. But actually, if we are one, then there is a need that Igbo should be given a chance to rule this country and contribute to the betterment of Nigeria.
Obinna, they should rather fight for the presidency.
How can we fight?
I use the word fight loosely as a loose term, not take up arms, please.
Constitutionally.
Yes.
Obinna, you understand me. So
when we followed the Zik approach, the Igbos did very well. And the Igbos really controlled Nigeria before the Civil War.
They did.
We dominated the civil service, the foreign service. The Igbo man was the Dangote of the time. Ojukwu Soda was the richest man. So we dominated
in a united Nigeria.
In a united Nigeria. So we dominated the business, the politics. The Igbo party controlled Midwest and controlled Eastern region. So we controlled 2 of the 4 regions. And at the federal, we formed a coalition government with NPC. So the Zik's approach was wonderful, extraordinary, splendid for the Igbo. So when Ojukwu came with separatism, which the Igbo elite were all totally opposed to, because you had gone to the ends of Nigeria and invested so much, built up the whole of Nigeria. People like Ojukwu's father had investments, owned parts of our papa, VI. So the Igbo elite said, no, do not secede. It's not in our interest. But Ojukwu was personally ambitious and had his own agenda. To achieve his goal, he dismantled what was built up in the past. He ignored his father. He discredited people like Zik, punished them, said they were saboteurs. We all had that in Biafra. So he tried to build his own thing, which was reckless, which was impetuous, and he failed.
And choosing your words.
Oh, I'm speaking for myself. And then it failed. When it failed, I'm coming. When it failed, what was built up was dismantled. And what you tried to build was nowhere. So there was anarchy, chaos, leaderlessness, and that's what we are still suffering up till today.
Please, I disagree with you.
That's the thrill of it.
Did not choose to divide Nigeria. But rather the events of the moment threw that before him. Because if you have in a country where people are being slaughtered, where people are being destroyed, their businesses, the elites were being killed in the north, he's only an irresponsible
Right,
leader
but
that will not
so
suit the way of
viewer
secession.
must understand that this thing had a cause. But let me take Peter is here in Lagos. Peter, welcome.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, gentlemen.
I greet you.
I want to agree with everybody that everybody has a point based on your personal opinion. But the fact remains that let's be sincere with ourselves. This problem of Igbo must get a presidency to prove that they are Nigerian, this is not the problem. We still bring us back to the tribal problem that we are facing that have caused this country a lot of problems. If the Igbos fight for their position, what of the minority? Tomorrow the minorities will come out and say, we have not been given chance. What is important is to have credible people that have Nigeria in heart. It can be Igbo, it can be Hausa, it can be Yoruba. Would you have a good, proper electoral system that works? Any Igbo man can be the leader. Yoruba man can be the leader. The problem we talk about Zik and all, this is the foundation that is causing problems today because the foundation of Nigeria from the beginning was not properly planned. It makes us hate ourselves and everything. Look at today now, what we should be fighting for is love. Because Nigeria, there is too much hatred going on.
Yeah.
Igbo hates Yoruba, Yoruba hates Hausa, Hausa hates this one. This is not going to help us. We should have a system that works and talk as one family. If we have one Igbo man that is good enough, all Nigerians will come behind him.
Can I respond to what you say?
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Yeah.
You don't respond. Can I respond to what you say?
Go on.
The thing is that the Nigerian constitution was written in such a way that you elect national figures to the presidency, irrespective of tribe. But then at the stage we are now, we are still very tribalistic because we are yet to be given a unified sense of nationhood. What's the object of Nigeria? It was defined by the colonial masters. A Nigerian dream. Yes, exactly. It was defined by the colonial masters. And there's not been a redefinition of the need for this unity, which only a responsible leadership will give to the people. So until that happens, we are talking about our ethnic groups. So Igbo presidency, Yoruba presidency, that's all wonderful. That's the stage we are. So all the ideals of let anybody rule, irrespective of where it comes from, we are yet to attain that. It will come with time.
We'll return to Jos, Plateau State, where another viewer is waiting. Please come on, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to your guest, Amisha Kaiwa Imam, calling from Jos.
Thank you very much.
All right. I think my contribution is we should be clamoring for good governance, not ethnic presidency. Yoruba, Igbos, and also Fulani are not the only ethnic nationality in Nigeria. I think we should be more concerned about who will provide good governance that will better the lives of Nigerians. When Hausa North has ruled Nigeria more, has it bettered the life of average Northerners? When Obasanjo ruled Nigeria, has it bettered the life of Yoruba? So we shouldn't ethnicize the presidency. And I want to agree with the man on suit. This clamoring for Igbo presidency is more like a selfish agenda from some Igbo elite. Igbos are one of the greatest beneficiaries of Nigeria. I have quite a number of them as friends. An average Igbo man does not believe in secession because they have dominated the economic activities across the country. I think what we should be more concerned, the event that led to civil war was unfortunate, and it raises more questions than answers that Igbo tried to overthrow governance and slaughter, assassinated the premiers of other regions, but scare premier of Eastern region. That thing created disunity and mistrust. An average Igbo man does not believe in secession because they have dominated the economic activities across the country. I think what we should be more concerned, the event that led to civil war was unfortunate, and it raises more questions than answers that Igbo tried to overthrow governance and slaughter, assassinated the premiers of other regions, but scare premier of Eastern region. That thing created disunity and mistrust. So I think my concern is
Ishak, which is what I meant by curing the cause. We'll take another break and return. The Igbo presidency, the question is nagging. We'll return to it after this break. Hello, welcome back. Don't take anything away from the Igbo country, enterprising sets of people, industrious, but individualistic, right?
The Igbo cannot be said to be individualistic. They are just like every other tribe in Nigeria.
Okay.
Like as you and I would see when people talk about.
They are Republicans.
Yeah, we are Republican by nature. And an average human Igbo man is struggling how to survive and how to raise his family, how to better his life and life of his family and immediate relations. But let me be honest with you. I don't think at this point in time Igbo is talking about Nigerian presidency come 2019. I must be honest with you. What Igbo is more concerned today in Nigeria enterprise, the restructured Nigeria. A restructured Nigeria where Igbo can carry out their businesses, they can develop their territories, their land the way they want, and without being limited to anything. Igbo today is interested with resources that come from their land, how it's being utilized, how it's going to be utilized. They don't want somebody to tell them that you must go to Abuja to be able to achieve this, you want to do this, you can go this.
But that was not Nnamdi Kanu's gospel.
You see, I've told you, forget about what Nnamdi Kanu is preaching outside there. But I'm telling you that the IPOB was formed because of the marginalization and the traumatizing of Igbo. I must tell you something. Before it was formed, I know everything about them. Those that formed IPOB we are talking about today are those people that have businesses in Tejoshua market that were burned down. Those that have their business in different parts of Lagos that were burned down and chased out of Lagos State. Those that have their business in the...
Were they chased out of Lagos State?
When your basis of business and survival is being destroyed, you have no other option than to come back to your place.
When you carry a gospel like this...
Even in the north, they were also chased out. And these are people that come together to form IPOB. That's why there is so much anger in their mind.
There's a caller online. Let me welcome him. Please feel welcome. I missed your name, but please feel welcome. Hello. No luck.
Well, the thing is, the Igbos are individualistic and they are Republican by nature. That is very wonderful for the Igbo man because it makes him strive. The competition for success or the impulse for success is so high in Igbo land. So Igbos work very hard on individual level, which is very wonderful. But I think also that the problem in the Igbo man is having because of his individualism and republicanism is universal. Like a certain writer, Dr. Sowell, said that there's an inverse relationship between success in business and the professions on the one hand and success in politics. That ethnic groups or races that do very well in business and the professions tend to fail in politics. He gave example of the Jews, for example, who will do very well in politics, but will always fail in the politics of the country they are in. He talked about the Germans too. Ironically, the Irish were the most indisciplined, the most irresponsible group of whites that came from Europe into the US. But paradoxically, they are the most successful in politics. The Kennedys, Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, they are all from Irish descent. You hardly hear names, German-like names, succeeding in politics. So I think it's the same problem we are having here.
At the time, you had a British Prime Minister who had links with Israel, Benjamin Disraeli.
Israel.
All right, we'll take Ede is calling from Ghana. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, my brother. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And good morning, your guys.
Good morning.
I really love you all.
Thank
You
you.
people are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. My own concern about Igbo presidency. My question is this: why now? It's a 1 million question. Why now? The issue about Igbo presidency, the people that are advocating for Igbo presidency is all those Okami, Nneanwodo, and Rochas Okorocha. They are the people that are advocating for Igbo presidency. And they watch the lineage of these people. They are the people that they can kill their brothers and their son and their daughters. They can't say anything.
Ede,
they are ready to sacrifice.
Ede, you are on network TV. Don't pass such poison. I won't like it. I won't like it. Yeah.
Like, honestly speaking, like I keep saying it, those that are also demanding for Igbo presidency today are doing so based on their selfish interest. They don't have the Igbo
but do you believe
at heart.
in an Igbo president?
Igbo presidency is long overdue.
Okay.
It's long overdue, but then the question is this. Do other people collaborate? Because you keep hearing people, leaders like past presidents like granting interviews saying that come 20 this thing, it will be in Igbo return, that everybody should work in line with Igbo to be able to achieve this. But just a mere talk. There's no action to it. So, and that this thing did not come from the heart. I listened to IBB also interview saying that Igbo presidency is long overdue. Yes, we all agreed. But the question is this. Beyond rhetorics, is there any concrete plans? Because those people, because I have had these people to tell me, go and tell your leaders that you come and come for this. And the same leaders, I will call them, you come and meet them. At the end of the day, the same people will dump those people for another candidate.
I don't think
it doesn't work.
I won't be sounding Greek to you if I pose this question directly to you. Have you heard the statement, Igbos cannot be trusted? Have you heard it before? I
don't think I have.
Okay. I have heard it.
I used to hear Yorubas cannot be trusted.
Have you also heard Yorubas cannot be trusted?
That's what I've heard, yes.
I don't think I have also heard that. Because I know both Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa can be trusted. But then I don't know if our political leaders can be trusted.
Okay.
I've heard the word that politicians cannot be trusted. And that cut across all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. Okay. Politicians can tell you something this morning, and in the afternoon they're singing a different song, and that is not exclude the leaders from the southeast. Unfortunately, we have not been blessed with such leaders that have the interest.
Let's listen to your brother. Is Mba calling from? We've lost the connection.
So, to like I was saying, Igbo have not been blessed.
It's about with trust, mutual trust. And not mistrust.
The thing is that he talked about Obasanjo speaking in favor of Igbo presidency and Babangida doing that. None of these people who are speaking in favor of Igbo presidency will facilitate it for you. We've seen people become presidents. Abiola won the election. He didn't become president, but Abiola before then had laid the groundwork. He traversed the country looking for friends, looking for associates, building coalitions. That is why he became the presidency.
Add this to what you already know about him. Abiola had a total of 139 titles across the country.
Over the years, he worked for it. Yeah. Buhari kept running and losing. But one thing Buhari proved to people was that he was a vote getter. Without a structure, CPC had no structure, no money. But he won with, 12 million votes or something of the sort. So other politicians came around him, since this man can get a lot of votes by himself. If we put our resources, our machinery around him, he will win the presidency.
Toshiko, Bright is not impressed.
I want to sharply disagree with you when it comes to the issue of Buhari, because honestly speaking,
it's not about Buhari.
No, we're talking about winning elections.
Like he give an example of Buhari that have tried and failed three times, four times before finally he made it. Now, we are giving this impression that Buhari detests corruption, and Buhari was going to fight corruption. But the past 2.5 years have proved it
Bright,
wrong.
don't take me there.
Bright, don't take me there. So let us look at this.
Let's look at the Igbo question.
So the
Yorubas have these problems you talk about, but they have been president, the Yorubas and the North, not the Igbo.
But let me finish what I'm saying. So Buhari, because he proved himself a vote getter.
How did he prove himself vote getter?
We're not talking about Buhari. I'm using that as an example.
As you sit here, Buhari is the president.
Okay,
yes, the thing is,
it is left for an Igbo president.
We cannot be.
But so that's consensus.
That's what I'm saying. So people came around him because
we can get the same support for an Igbo leader.
What will make them support an Igbo leader?
President of the Republic of Nigeria.
You see, Abiola got support because he built it over the years. Buhari got support because he proved himself a vote getter. An Igbo man must prove himself. That's why others will rally against him. But when you sit around,
he must be a rallying fellow.
He must be a rallying fellow. So people will come and say, we can invest in this man. But when Igbos want to sit around and talk of Igbo presidency, you will never get it.
All right, Wale is here.
Work for it.
Wale is reaching us from Ibadan. Welcome, Wale.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, great to have you.
Yeah, same here. The truth has to be told. You see, the Igbo people must be aware that you cannot have an appointed president. It has to be elected. So no matter how Republican you are, you will still need support of some people to get that position. Charity, they say, begins at home. Igbo region is the only region where you have the three political parties holding one state or the other. If you go to Southwest, they don't have more than two. The whole of the North, 19 states, they don't have more than two. So they have to really unify the region first, get it in a block. Then you can now negotiate with other parts of the country. So before you can ascend the throne of presidency.
Wale, thank you. Bright, let's come back. Consensus. Buhari, yes, Buhari couldn't have been president without Tinubu. Give me a candidate from Southeast Nigeria, chiefly Ndi Igbo country, that can buy the confidence of somebody from, say, the North or the West.
There are many of them.
Okay.
There are many of them. They may not have the money. We know someone like Onovo, Martin Onovo, as little as he is, he has tried. He tried in it.
The truth has to be told. You see, the Igbo people must be aware that you cannot have an appointed president. It has to be elected. So no matter how Republican you are, you will still need support of some people to get that position. Charity, they say, begins at home. Igbo region is the only region where you have the three political parties holding one state or the other. If you go to Southwest, they don't have more than two. The whole of the North, 19 states, they don't have more than two. So they have to really unify the region first, get it in a block. Then you can now negotiate with other parts of the country. So before you can ascend the throne of presidency.
Wale, thank you. Bright, let's come back. Consensus. Buhari, yes, Buhari couldn't have been president without Tinubu. Give me a candidate from Southeast Nigeria, chiefly Ndi Igbo country, that can buy the confidence of somebody from, say, the North or the West.
There are many of them.
Okay.
There are many of them. They may not have the money. We know someone like Onovo, Martin Onovo, as little as he is, he has tried. He tried in the last election.
He's not little.
No, I want to put him...
Little, you are talking about money now.
When I talk about little, I'm talking about financial capability.
Yeah.
No, he have tried as much as possible. I'm not only that he have tried, but he have kept checkmating, happy to checkmate the present government. He have never kept quiet for a minute over the affairs of this nation. People like that, if supported,
but you need to. There's an extra mile that must be treaded, and that's the extra mile.
No, he is building bridges. I know. Recently he visited Olusegun Obasanjo, and I'm sure during his visit to Olusegun Obasanjo that this issue of Igbo presidency came up in the first place.
You don't think it's about a governorship?
No, he did not go there for governorship. He went there for that presidency.
Was the former police chief.
No. Martin Onovo. He run under NCP
yeah.
in the last election,
okay, cool.
though he lost. But then, even in the presidential debate, he came first because he was a sound mind person. He was somebody that have come out from a system that is not corrupt. He's a former staff of Ezomobi, and he made a genuine money. So characters like that, if all of us that know him very well can champion his cause, I'm sure come 2019, he's not only going to be the best president, maybe from Igbo extraction, but he's going to be the best president for Nigeria. Because these are the characters that we need, not people. But it's unfortunate.
He has to be voted for across board.
I bleed in my heart when I hear people talking about Atiku and Buhari for 2019. I ask myself a question: don't we have better candidates than these
bleeding here,
individuals?
You are healed from here. but then let me take Mrs. Ayinde from Ikorodu. Mrs. Ayinde, you are here. What? Yeah, that's the last call. Welcome, ma'am. Oh, we lost the call to her. Okay, so it's not about bleeding in your heart. It's about consensus building, building bridges, reaching out.
Yeah. Even to run for the local government chairman, you have to build bridges, seek supporters, financiers, and all that. So at the national level, it becomes even more important. There are a few nationally known Igbos. Some say, many of them, some say they want technocrats. So Nigerians like names, technocrats. Well, so who do you say technocrat, if that's what is in vogue? And there are some politicians that have acquired this national image. Yes.
Emeka
Anyoku is not a politician. Ngige is a politician, and quite a few of them. I don't really remember that.
No,
it's from Konjiwala. But that's all fine. There are quite a number of them. But whoever chooses to do it, or whoever the Igbos decide to present as their president, that person needs to labor for it strenuously, assiduously, relentlessly, or he will not be president. Nobody can dash you power. The Igbos must learn to work for it and get it. Be it in 2019, which is most unlikely that an Igbo man will be president. 2023, where they stand a better chance.
Yeah.
But now is the time to start laying the groundwork. And one condition the Igbo man must meet is to snap out of this victim mentality. We are being victimized, we are marginalized, we are hated. It's destroying the Igbo man, it's not helping us. We must snap out of it.
Our last caller for this morning, he's reaching us from Surulere. Femi, welcome.
Yeah, good day to all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my own contribution is this, that the two things they have to do. They have to mix. They are not mixing. And when somebody doesn't know you, when does the Igbos have to mix?
Did you say mix or meet?
They cannot rely on you. You asked a question the last time from the man not in the one in Suto. You are asking him, who can they present that will be nationally acceptable? And if he was unable, people that could have been nationally acceptable to them, they have mixed. They have mixed around Okorosha, Kremadu. They have the tentacles. But when you started calling somebody whom we don't even know his name, he's only known in the East. He has been telling people in the East, is that the credential is going to bring to the national level? So that is the thing. They have to mix. They have always, even within their own society, their own small society, they respect money more than this. Somebody who doesn't have money cannot talk.
Here we go again. That Ndibo, like Bright, respects money more than...
I don't respect money. If I respect money, like he said, I will be putting Okorosha first.
Okay.
If I respect money, I will be putting one of those governorship candidates, former governors first. But I'm just telling you a man who has nothing to give to anybody.
Bright, let me take you, hold on, it will help your case here. Let me take you back to the Second Republic. Bless his soul, architect Alex Ekweme, His Excellency, just passed. He was vice president. You would have expected, a consensus building. 1979 to now is such a long time.
Yes. 1999, I believe that Ndibo gave him all their support. But fortunately, the Nigerian state have chosen Obasanjo already. But that notwithstanding, I don't want to have an Igbo president that will just be a president for purpose of
sake
being a president.
Yeah, okay.
I want an Igbo president that will go there and leave a footprint. So if you present before us today, before me as an individual, I will Okorosha and the Atiku or Buhari, I will go for those two, Atiku or Buhari. Do you understand? Because I don't want to have an Igbo man that will go there and mess up the system, and people will say, "Che, you have had your turn." Like somebody just said here some minutes ago that when Obasanjo was there, how did he better the life of the Southwest? No. Somebody, another person will also ask when Jonathan was there. How did he better the life of people from the South? But the question is this: if we are listening to, like I'm telling you now, somebody we can trust from the Southeast,
if you are somebody that Nigerians know. Right. If you are listened to, by who or what?
By his character. His tested character, from his background, track record. You see, I don't want to assume that because this man is an Igbo man, I want to trust him, follow him blindly. I want to follow somebody that I know that will go there and deliver and not shame the Igbo.
Tochukwu, earlier on, Bright said, referred to Awolowo and said he did for his region what we expected Zik to have done for his own region.
Yes.
Yet, Igbo would regard Awolowo as a tribalist.
Yeah,
Is that
many
what
of them.
You wanted Zik to have been like that?
Exactly.
You wanted Zik to
I want Zik to be said to be tribalistic, but for the fight for the interest of Igbo.
The thing is
he was president of Nigeria.
Jones, we are all tribalistic.
By nature.
Yeah, it's inherent. We are all sectional, be it across social lines, economic lines, tribal line, race line, whatever. So some are more tribalistic than others. But Awolowo I read one of his books and he said, people say I'm tribalistic, but since my area of authority is Yoruba land, why will I leave it and be worrying about Nigeria? When I become president of Nigeria, then I'll work out for Nigeria as a nation. But
Zik fits the bill. At the time we're speaking, Zik was, even if titularly,
was the president of Nigeria. So he couldn't have been purely Igbo. Yes. So and he was a nationalist leader. He led the fight for independence. You can't be leading the fight for national independence and be exceptionally Igbo. And even that supposedly Nigerian unity was so concerned with was in the interest of the Igbos. If you look at it very well, it was a tribal move to help his people, because one Nigeria has always been good to the Igbo.
And they are diehard Zikists.
Oh yeah,
they are. But to me,
diehard Zikists.
I'm not one of them.
Remember Tos Benson, Adenino Gunsoya, and so on. Not forgetting, of course, the great man at Ibadan. These people believed in Zik. They saw in Zik what you have not seen. How do you close?
Well, what this man has seen in Zik is what I saw in Dim Odumego Ojukwu.
Okay.
And I will continue to see it and view it in that perspective. And again, Ndi Igbo, at this point in time, I think what we are more interested in is a restructured Nigeria that will benefit all. A restructured Nigeria where we can take charge of our affair, how we want to go, at the pace we want to move, at the pace we want to develop. Not minding that Ndi Igbo will be better off in a united Nigeria. Okay. Because whether you like it or not, it's just those little boys that are angry that can talk about secession, but all of us,
Bright.
Every woman think more of Nigeria
than any other
tribe.
Tochukwu, how do you close?
Well, I would say that Zik was the greatest political leader the Igbos ever had. And when we told his line, he told his political line, we did exceptionally well. We traversed the country, and wherever we went, we left a dazzling mark. Ojukwu came with a reversed program or policy, and since we followed Ojukwu, it has been disaster after another. We lost all we had, And that's what kept us here. We're directionless, we're leaderless. So Zeke remains my man.
Let me thank my guests for coming. Bright Ezeocha, many thanks for coming.
Thank you, my brother.
Tochukwu Ezukame, we cannot thank you enough.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks,
Yes.
we must draw the program to a close yet, not before telling you that Ndi Igbo are as integral to the country as anybody else is. I think it is time to, emphasize as citizenship, settlership, and indigenship. It might go a long way. I thank you very kindly. We'll be here tomorrow. Good morning.